Hello, students. Let's read the problem. And it says, to find the solution set of linear inequalities, Madison graphed the inequality 2x plus 5y greater than 15. Which graph represents this inequality? So let's see, what am I looking for? Well, it says that Madison graphed a certain inequality, and the inequality is given to you right here. Okay, and they want to know which one of the graphs represents that inequality. Okay, so some of the things that we can do is we can look at the graphs and we can start analyzing if it's shaded above, if it's shaded below, dash line, all that kind of stuff. But we can also go straight to the inequality that is given to us, which is 2x plus 5y greater than 15, and I can go ahead and solve for y. Now remember, if you solve for y, it's like thinking about a linear equation, and that way we can easily identify the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, so let's go from that point of view. I am gonna need to take away 2x's on both sides, because remember that I want to leave y by itself. So I'm going to write a line just to show me that that's the first step. I'm going to cancel my 2x's and I'm going to bring down my 5y. The symbol greater than stays the same. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to switch the terms. So I'm going to bring the x's to the front. And of course, it's a negative 2x. And the 15 is positive. So I will write a plus 15. What I need to do next is I need to get rid of the coefficient 5, which is multiplying the y. Therefore, I need to divide by 5. Notice how I am going to divide by 5 each term on the right side. And 5 divided by 5, it's 1, which means 1y, but I can just write down the y by itself. Symbol greater than, I don't need to switch it, because I'm not multiplying or dividing by a negative number. What about next? Well, I am going to have my slope negative 2x, negative 2/5 x plus, what's 15 divided by 5? It's a 3, right? So now I can see some of the features around here. I'm going to write down my inequality, but with an equal sign, so that I can compare that to what I know about the slope-intercept form. Okay, so are we ready? So who is this 3? What is the 3 represents? The 3 is your y-intercept, which means this is where I start. Okay, that point crosses the y-axis at 3. Okay, so that's very important, because I can go and check which one of my graphs has a y-intercept of positive 3. Okay, very good. What about this? What is this? If you remember, the coefficient that is next to the x is going to be my slope. Okay, that's my slope. And my slope is identified with a m, if you remember. And now I can see that the slope is actually negative. Very good. I can see the negative sign in the front. Therefore, my slope is negative. If my slope is negative, this line will look something like this. It's pointing to the left, therefore shows a negative number. So these are very important features, because you can go back and look at the answer choices and say, Miss, I think letter C cannot be an answer, because the line looks like it's pointing to the right. Things like that. Okay, now the only thing that is different here is the symbol that I use for inequality. So I'm going to come back up here and identify the inequality symbol. The inequality symbol means greater than. So if it's greater than, I need to think about above. Okay, So it's going to be shaded above. And since I don't see the little line underneath the inequality sign, then the line is not going to be a solid line. It's going to be a dashed line. You know what dashed line is, right? Kind of like a dotted line. Sometimes we call it broken line. Okay? So very good. Let's go ahead and check on the answer choices. Which one do you want to check? You want to check for the y-intercept first? So let me go ahead and highlight this. That's the first thing I want to check, the y-intercept. So this is the y. So letter A, I'm looking for a positive 3. Positive 3 will be somewhere over here. Is my line crossing? And when I mean the line, I mean this line that is here. Is this line crossing at the positive 3? No, it's not, right? Okay, so I can see the y-intercept helps me cancel A. What about C? Letter C. My y-intercept, I believe it's a negative 3. I do not want a negative 3. I want a positive 3. So the positive 3, should it be somewhere over here on the top? Is that line crossing up there? And I know it's a dashed line, but I'm going to refer that as a line, okay? It's not crossing there, right? So letter C cannot be my answer. Very good. Let's look at letter B. I'm looking for the y-intercept, which is right here, of a positive 3. That's 1, 2, and 3. So yes, it is crossing there, right? Okay, we'll come back and check the rest of the slope and everything else. But right now I can see that B could be a good answer for us. What about D? Well, let's check for the y-intercept on answer choice D. And the y-intercept, remember, is the point where my line, in this case, that dash or dotted line, it's on 3, right? So my answer choice could be B or D. Okay, let's check the next thing. What about if we check for, what do you want to check for? For the slope? The slope needs to be what? Negative, and I'm looking for a line that looks pointing to the left. So this is actually pointing to the left. So we're okay with that. This is also pointing to the left. So both of them are correct for B and D. What is the next thing that I can check for? You know what? There's something that says dash line or dotted line. So let's see that one. It's right here. You see that? What do you notice about B and D? Both of them have the dash or dotted line, right? So that's not helping us. And the last thing, let's check the last thing. What was the last thing I said? I said it needed to be shaded above. Which one of those two is shaded above? So one of the things that you're gonna need to check when I say shaded above is you're gonna look at the y-intercept, which is right here, and I want you to think about what's shaded. This will be shaded above the positive 3. This will be shaded below the positive 3. So the one that makes the difference here, it's that symbol for greater than. Is that right? So therefore, my answer for this should be letter B.